And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Transport Fever. Working on the railroad here. Working on steel, as a matter of fact. Alright, so here we're going to want a line. I want to go from this side here. Oh, look at that. We're immediately into a bridge. But I don't want a bridge up to about right here. So I'm going to force that to build me a kind of a system of, I don't know what you'd call those, a berm or something. Because we're going to double these lines up, and it's really hard to double them up when you're dealing with bridges. So I'm going to berm that out there, and then I don't really mind what happens from here on out. I do want to connect these though, and I don't want these to cross. Okay, so they're not crossed there. I do want to pull them up and in. So we've got 4 tracks. Interesting, that's a collision, and that's not a collision. Okay, so is this good to go? So we are not in there at all, but I really don't like how that is so deep. I don't think it should be that. I don't think it should be built like that. I'd rather not. Rather not have it like that. Rather kind of skim the top of the land rather than dig under it. I mean, this big mountain here might have to dig under it, but if I get a tunnel that's too deep, it's going to be really, really hard. Really hard to put signals in there. So we're going to go with that. And we're just going to try to regulate it here a little bit better. There we go. Okay, we're going to want a good one there and a good one there. And that should give us a nice smooth transition. We got a little itty bitty tunnel here. I can deal with that. We got maximum speed through here. So let's go with that. And with this, we're going to upgrade and see if we can hit 8. And so there is 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks there, and 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks for iron. So that puts us right in line with what I want. Because eventually we're going to need basically all 4 of these tracks. So let's double this one up right away. That way we can run our lines parallel and not worry. Ooh, let's dial that back. And not worry about paralleling it later. Kind of doing this in pieces also helps eliminate too many problems, because we're going to be using so much steel into the future that we're going to need just a massive amount of processing in all of this. So we're going to pull this off and run this through. So there's the double track. The initial double track for coal. Now I need to run one for iron, and I want to run it. This is going to take some planning. But I want to run exactly parallel to this. Okay, up to a point. Then I want to dial it in. See, now we're getting a little weird. If I bring this back in here, will it complain to me? We split that off into a bridge, which is fine. That's a bridge, which is fine. And that's a bridge, which is fine. Except for this area right in here. So we're going to cancel that. We're going to drag this out a little bit more. And we're not going to have that down so far. Because I need this to have a berm on it. I need it to have a little bit of an area that we can double the track up. So let's drag this back down. Make sure we are good. I think that will work. And this is going to be a doubled track as well, but we can't double it starting right at the beginning. We're going to have to double it. I'm going to start it over here, so we have a good line all the way in. And then we're going to get really crazy. We're going to bulldoze that, because this has actually got to be the one that connects. So we need to take out that whole bridge. Now that everything's lined up, why is this complaining to me? It should not be complaining. Terrain allow. Oh, there's a little. Nice. Nice. Okay, so this one I want to match up, which is perfect. And then I want to split this one off on the outside and then connect it right back again. And there's our double tracked system, and it leaves the inside for yet another line if we want to run all the way across. And so now I just double it all the way up. This is going to be a massive amount of trains running up and down this. Uh-oh. Let's dial it back. And do this a little bit more carefully. It's a very, very expensive line. So that goes right in just like that. And we're going to want to pull that out right about the same spot that's pulled out. There we go. And we're going to drag this back all the way to meet up with the other side. Okay, getting there. Oh, there's the line right there. All right, we now have a doubled track for iron and coal, and we want, I want a place for a couple depots. Now we're going to need signals, because these are probably going to have 4 or 5 trains a piece on them. And it's much easier to put signals on bridges than it is to put signals in tunnels. Okay, one here, there, and there. Now, you know, are there better ways to do this? Are there more efficient ways to do this? You know, I'm positive that there are. But I'm thinking far into the future when we're going to be needing, you know, 6,000-7,000 steel, you know, per year. our steel mill is going to be going like crazy. And are we going to be able to move enough material to satisfy demand? Oh, a whole bunch of stuff. Look at the Peterbilt. All right. Awesome. Peterbilt was unlocked. It's good for us. There we go. Now, it's just a matter of ship, depot, and I'm going to put it, I'm going to put it over here. Just like that. So, the last step of this is the delivery into Indianapolis, which is going to be a little tricky considering this line has to be moved over to here. So let him drain all of his construction material out, which is good because it's right next to all this industrial. So he's able to push it all out and not affect me whatsoever. And let's see, who is this? This is Chicago to Green Bay. And let's speed it up so we're not waiting around too long. And pause this. And we're going to leave that stub there. But this we've got to change. This line has to be fed right into there. And this line needs to split off at some point. Like that. So let's get this back up in order. There we go. Now the really tough part is getting this train over to this section here, so it frees up this one line coming in that we can then use to deliver our tools. So it's going to have to... Oh, that smoke is just crazy how it lingers like that. Look at that. That is that's a ton of smoke. Okay, do I have another train coming down? I could probably put another train on this line and not bat an eye. But passenger service right now is not a priority. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit and then pause it. Now I can bring this one in here and then split this off as elegantly as possible and replace those, and it should automatically put all the people that were waiting on this line over to the other line, since it recognizes that that change was made. Now I need to run a line all the way up to here without doing too much interference. Let's see. I'd like to, if I can, match those right up like that. That way I can get into this curve and not worry about splitting that line apart. So right about here is where we're going to want to start splitting this off. Because this one's going to have to be doubled up too, because we're going to eventually be delivering a lot of tools to Indianapolis. So let's drag this up and try to squeeze this right in here. Okay, where do we want this here? Okay, we don't want a tunnel right into the station. So where do we want? Okay, Indianapolis. I kind of want to just slap this right in the middle. And we're going to drag this down, but we're going to force it to cut the land like that. And that way, when we split it off on the inside here, it will automatically dig that out for us. And then we can tunnel from here. Okay, where's our line? There it is. Let's create the leader and then bring this out into, where do we go? Right in here. Which line are we connected to? Connected to the right one. And that's good there. I don't mind a crossing there. I can always redo it if I want. Looks like we are good. So let's place it and then double it right away. Spend the money now. Double it up. And then when the time comes, we won't have any problem running multiple trains on this line. Okay, right into, sort of into Indianapolis here. Lots and lots and lots of rail going right into the heart of our little area here. And immediately put some signals, not too many. We're not going to have, 6 trains on here. We might eventually have like 3 on here. So space these quite a bit apart and then right into the end. There. So all the pieces are in place except for one right now. We need something for lumber. And I think maybe up in here in Canada is probably a good spot for that. We do need to give this a proper bridge though. So let's go medium country road. And we are going to build a bridge up here like this. Too much slope. Not good enough. Get rid of those nasty houses right there. We don't need them. Why is this wanting to go out? I want to just go straight across. Like that. Do that instead. And is it complaining? No. Yeah, this Detroit Windsor, it's still barking at me about this. We need to keep this navigatable, which is why I put a bridge there instead. But it's slightly changed the amount of time. Even though it's a super fast road type, it still changes enough where the game is complaining at me. So there's really no way around that. So if I wanted to do lumber up here, let's say over here is our lumber mill. I guess that was, so we need sawmill. There it is. So we're going to set this a little apart from the water like that. And then the wood can really come from anywhere. Wood is one of those resources that, okay, that's not what I wanted. Right, like that. And let's do ship, cargo. And again, it's the wrong way around, but can't really do much about that yet. Why do you insist on doing weird curly cues? Okay. So if we deliver lumber here, not to here, but to way up here, that's quite the trek. We're going to need, 20 ships to make that worthwhile, which is going to be tough. But the lumber itself, I could put pretty close. So I could put like maybe one up here in Canada. And I'm looking for forest. There it is. Oh, yeah, that's a little on the close side there. Oh, those are pretty big. Yeah, not entirely sure. We got a bunch of tree areas up here. I guess I could sneak one into here and run a train. So we got a nice forest area up here. I could have a couple different spots for them. This is kind of way up in the hills. But it might... Oh, wrong button. It might look kind of cool. Right here. It might kind of blend right in with this. I think that looks pretty good. And then bring this down a little ways. And the forest, let's put a station, 4 platforms, it's fine. And it still gets that catchment area there. We've got a little body of water in the way, so this is going to be some creative work here. And this one's going to have to flip. I want this one to be a side loader, because we don't have that much space to deal with here. One more out. It's like that. So this captures that, and this captures, if I can see it, that captures that, and that captures that. So we are good, and let's get some rail lines ready. So that's 4. So why is this 4 different from this 4? It's because it's a side loader. So it's like, oh. So there is a pretty straight shot. But I don't mind. Okay, train 9 is old. We're going to need to start replacing trains here soon. I do want to double this up. And we are going overtime here, so let's finish this line if we can. Take that off. Yeah, this is why I like to use why is that not liking that? There we go. Now we should be able to pull this out and then connect it together. Just like that. Oh. West Rail, West Fleet. And this will maybe have 2 trains on it, maybe 3. So we don't want to get too crazy with the signals on this. We can always add more track in between. That's really where the bonus comes from. This is going to get rather expensive to put a depot in here. Yep. Okay, well, we've got the stations and everything all set up. Now it's just a matter of the lines and everything. So we'll tackle that next episode. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.